The age-old history of the Jewish community in the Iberian Peninsula is an impressive one. Although a tiny minority, the Jewish community greatly contributed to the prosperity of the successive kingdoms that were established there. The territories that today are Portugal and Spain have known men of culture.
Sephardi Jews, Portuguese Jews, have been along our history ever since the very beginning of our nation. And for centuries, they have contributed to our sciences, our politics, our culture, and our trade.
The Jewish community that lived in Portugal in 1496 was the strongest and most educated in the world at the time. The edict of expulsion from Portugal was followed by the destruction of synagogues, schools, and Jewish cemeteries, as well as the confiscation of Jewish books under penalty of death. There were hundreds of tragic cases like that of Rabbi Abraham Saba, who was forced to hand over his collection of hundreds of books in Oporto, from which he left heartbroken and weeping. Many of the Jewish books were burned and others were sold by the authorities to collectors around the world. The Jewish diaspora spread throughout the entire world.
Sephardi Jews from Portuguese heritage have always been contributing to a cosmopolitan world, for peace amongst nations, and for the benefit of trade. From philosophers and thinkers such as Isaac Abravanel or Baruch Spinoza, to artists such as Emma Lazarus, the poet who wrote The New Colossus, which stands in the Statue of Liberty, from thinkers such as David Ricardo or Benjamin Cardozo, the Justice of the United States Supreme Court, from Benjamin Disraeli, the Prime Minister of Britain in the 19th century, to Pierre Mendès, Prime Minister of France in the 20th century, or our own President Georges Sampaio. This Jewish heritage is valued and treasured in our country, so that very recently we tributed and extended Portuguese citizenship to all descendants of Portuguese Jews.
Currently, Portugal is witnessing a process of historical reparation together with the return of Jewish life and Jewish culture. The communities of Oporto and Lisbon are building archives of the history of Jews of Portuguese origin dispersed throughout the world. The Jewish Museum of Oporto was built, and the Jewish Museum of Lisbon is being built, with resources from the worldwide Jewish community. The Chabad Center in Portugal, the largest in Europe, is bringing back to the country many books that had been stolen from Portuguese Jews in 1496 and 1497. The Portuguese Jewish community paid for the processing and digitization of the files of the Portuguese Inquisition, which were in danger of rotting and being lost forever. The Portuguese film that won the most awards abroad was about the Inquisition in Oporto. The film's proceeds will be donated to charities.
The city of Porto is a fantastic city that is tolerant and loving and has always had a very warm feeling towards Jews.
You're a witness to that because you were raised in, you and your brother were raised in Porto. Our parents were always good friends, and you know
Yes.
how proud we were to claim our Jewish inheritance, that my great-grandfather was a Katzenstein.
One of the most unexpected rooms in the Jewish Museum of Oporto is the kosher port wine room. Port wine and the Jewish community are hallmarks of the city. Recently, the Jewish community of Oporto and the Historical Society of the Independence of Portugal announced the signing of a protocol of partnership and cooperation. The protocol evokes the friendship that was established between King Afonso Henriques and Yahya ben Yaish, who would become the first chief rabbi of the country. After 5 centuries, the highest political figure of the Portuguese nation, Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa, visited the Jewish community in Oporto. Jews always believe in a better future. But decades will follow one after another, and Jewish history teaches that policies change and the future is unknown.